What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I'm really excited today because I have two people from a show that I watch faithfully. Well, two shows that I watch faithfully, Sisters and Zatima.
Yes.
We have Devale, Ellis here.
Yes.
And we have Crystal Renee Hayslett. Thank y'all for joining us. And thank you, Crystal, for the wine as a celebration. So cheers to you.
Cheers. You're so welcome.
Oh,
I'll cheers with you too. I'll cheers with you too. And this was a collective agreement that we.
You didn't even know what was in the package.
I did know. I didn't know. I'm lying.
Now, I don't know if Fatima should be drinking because you are pregnant on the show.
But Crystal ain't.
Oh, hold on. Let me take a little sip. All right. So, we're back with Zatima. Long awaited. Cut it out, Devale.
It got me right here. It just got me right here.
Don't do that to the camera.
But it does look like every time y'all are filming behind the scenes and everything, you're having a good time. And you guys really have great on-screen chemistry. But I could tell y'all are friends in real life.
Yeah.
Yes, that was important. When we first started working together, I was actually scared to call Devale to run lines because it was during COVID. It was like our first season working together, and I was like, okay, I gotta call him. And then one day he was like, let's just talk. Like we need to know each other so we can actually have some type of chemistry. And that talk turned into a friendship.
And
it's been like 4 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And back when you guys are doing Sisters, you had no idea this was going to turn into a spinoff.
No.
We did not.
We
but
didn't. When we
tell
sat
what
down,
you said, though.
I remember the first day we sat down and we were running lines. We were on Zoom. And I was like, the story, the way they're developing it is so dope because it's a coming of age story from my character, but my character is getting help from a woman, which we don't see often in television now. Everything is always battle of the sexes, but now you have a young woman helping a young man and a young man actually taking the advice. Right. So we got a chance to see Zach be vulnerable, but then I was reading, I was like, wait a minute, Fatima has to be, I was like, they're going to love this. And they did, and we were just like, we're going to get our own show. And
it did. Did y'all pitch it, or was it something that they came to you and said, people love you guys on here?
That's what it was. It was the fans, honestly. They, from day one, they were like, oh my God, we love them together. And then I remember we were sitting on the set of Sisters in Fatima's bedroom, Devale and I going over lines for the next scene. Tyler comes in and he looks at us both. And he goes, I like this. And we just looked at each other like, we're going to get our own show. Like, we just felt it.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And that's Tyler's genius, though, because that was season 2 before the relationship had went public. Tyler saw us working. And the last couple days were at Fatima's apartment. So he saw us working those 2 weeks. And then he was just like, I like this. So Tyler saw it before the fans did.
Yeah.
And Crystal, you have an amazing story of how you even got into acting. Because this wasn't your goal. You were working behind the scenes. And then you ended up on Sisters, kind of more of a supporting character.
Was, yes. Very much.
Walk us through that journey.
Yeah, well, it actually was my goal.
It was?
Yeah,
okay.
I actually started working at the studio so I could be around what I wanted to do. I wanted to study other actors. I wanted to be around set life and really just learn, be a student of the game. And kind of got caught up in getting promotions and got promoted to costume designer at the studio. And then Tyler asked me to be his stylist. And I was like, okay, I can do this for however long. And it lasted for 5 years. And then Sisters came about. And as I was breaking down the script as a costume designer for Sisters, that's when I was like, this is it.
He pitched myself.
So I called him. I was producing it with him. And I said, I was like, I want in. And he's like, what you mean? I said, I've never told you this, but I want to act. And he was like, I love this idea. He was like, send me some of your self-tapes. I actually auditioned at the studio and didn't get anything.
Okay.
And he had no idea.
That's great. I think that's a good lesson, too. There's a valuable lesson in that as far as maybe you're not going to step into the role that you want, but to get your foot in the door, to be around it, to study it, to build those relationships and that trust.
Yes.
And then that can help you get the opportunity. I tell people all the time, even if, say, you want to work at a radio station, even if you start off as the receptionist, I know people who have gone from that to being on the air.
Exactly. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, that's real.
All right. Now I want to talk about some of the things.
All the things
that's happening. Devale knows because he came up here already with the guys. First of all.
Yes, y'all had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
I felt it was overwhelming for me, so I'm glad you're here.
You know, Ange always comes with the heat for the gentleman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And Zach deserves a lot of
should.
heat. Zach deserves a lot of heat, so I'm ready for it. So what's up?
Well, first let's talk about on Sisters, where we left that, because that show is back.
Yeah, it comes back
Yes.
Wednesday. This Wednesday.
Yeah, when it's back.
Oh, it's
and
back,
so,
yes.
it's
It's
back.
back.
It's
So
back.
let's talk about Gary. Did you kill Gary? Because that was the cliffhanger. And so there's a lot of theories going around on why people don't think maybe you did, but some people think, hot-headed Zach did it, but then it's also like you have a lot at stake right now.
I mean, it's not too far-fetched to think that Zach did it. I mean, Zach is a crash out. Zach sees red. Fatima gets pushed on the ground. The first thing Zach is going to do is, defend her honor. So I could see Zach doing it. I could also see Zach saying, you know what, I have a child on the way.
Right.
And I can't not be there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Was that a surprise for you guys? Because first of all, I can't believe he lived this long. Somebody need to kill Hayden too.
Listen, you would
was
think
up to
as many
Zach.
beatings as Fatima has had put on him, that he would have quit, and he doesn't.
Okay, so your character Fatima, you did at one point sleep with Hayden though.
Yeah, before Zach,
Ooh,
though.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I was like,
you were like, hold on, sis.
yeah, we did have a thing.
I think everybody got that person they regret.
That was one for sure. Girl, hello.
In real life,
It was it was an office romance though. Sometimes people work together. You do long hours and things happen. So
and our families knew each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is also that you didn't know how terrible he was.
No.
I had no idea
At the time.
Yeah, and ain't that real life? Like,
yeah, you don't know how terrible, and then something happens, and you had the option. Because if I was you, I'd have been like,
right.
Hayden is crazy.
Right. No, he is. Yeah, he's.
But you owned it.
I
I think that's one of the main things for you guys being honest. But now, one thing that is always something that I feel like torn about is you're not always completely honest.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Ange.
With Zach. And
Talk
so
about
even
it.
his brother, Jeremiah, he I don't know if he pushed you to the ground or you fell
in the tussle, yeah.
in a bit of a tussle where he's trying to grab your purse.
Yeah.
But you did not want him to know.
I did not want him to know. And that's like, I don't lie to Zach about, I would never be dishonest with him about something versus trying to protect him from something. So in the dishonesty, I was really just trying to protect him because I know as soon as he finds that out, it's a wrap. He has a record, and I just didn't want him to get in more trouble.
But the thing is, he's going to find out at some point.
I was trying to figure out how to tell him. Somebody, I know with his crew, somebody going to tell it.
And Devale, I feel like in real life, like say, let's take it out of this, something happens
Yeah.
to Kadeen. I could see her not wanting you to know because you
Absolutely.
can overreact to that. What do you think if you had to give a woman some advice, like let's say I'm dating somebody, I know he a little wild and crazy. If something happens to me, that's the one thing that'll set him off. But maybe I don't want him to know because I don't want to set him off. What would you say you prefer?
I went through this with one of my homeboys. He played football for 12 years in the NFL, 6'5", 315 pounds. Him and his wife are leaving a Beyonce concert. And while they're leaving, a dude, while she's walking by, grabs her butt.
What?
And he's leading her. She felt it. And then they get all the way to the car. And then she gets in the car and said, I'm just letting you know now. I didn't want to tell you then that this happened. He immediately lost it. And then I was like, but dude, if you would have went back there and mauled that dude, you would be in jail right now. And where would your kids and your wife be? And he was like, I didn't even think about that. I said, that's why she didn't tell you, because you wouldn't think about that. And me personally, I would respect a woman who protects her husband or her significant other so much that they'll deal with something. But at some point, you got to let me know so I can get back.
Right.
Like, I'm going to find out who that is.
Right.
But now I have time. At least I have time to think of a way to do it in a way where I don't respond. Because all decisions made out of anger are not good decisions.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? So I respect a woman who was like, you know what? I'll find a way to tell him in time where he can let it marinate and do the responsible thing.
And so, Krista, as you're taking yourself out of the show and watching what Fatima's doing, what would you say she should have done? Like, what would you have done in real life?
I would have definitely had a conversation with Jeremiah first after the fact.
And she's trying to.
Yeah,
right?
yes, I'm still trying to. Exactly. She is really watching it. She's like, yeah, she's trying to. Yes. But definitely would have, once I felt like Zach was at a place where I could talk to her, in real life. If my guy was at a place where I could talk to him, then I would say, hey, this is what happened.
Right.
But I would wait because I know guys are just protective of their women. So
Especially a pregnant woman.
baby,
Absolutely.
that's
Listen,
different.
that takes it to a whole nother level. Makes
yeah.
it feel like, because I was like, Lord God, please don't let her have, had any issues.
I
To be
know.
honest, though, as just Devale watching it, Fatima shouldn't tell Zach. Just Devale watching it, not being Zach.
Okay.
Zach, I want to know as Zach, but
Right.
Devale, there's no way. He's a 2-time felon. His brother's on drugs.
Right.
His friends are all loose cannons. You can't tell that guy. There's no right time. You just pray and hope that he don't find out before Fatima has the right to speak to Jeremiah first. Fatima can't tell Zach. There's no way.
Yeah.
Anybody in their right mind watching was just like, she knows Zach is going to lose it.
But I'm just waiting for him to find out because it's going to happen.
It's gonna be great.
I mean,
know it's gonna happen, so.
It's gonna happen. You can see on the preview that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
But I don't
Too many
blame
people
her.
know. Jeremiah already done told on himself. Too many people know.
Yes.
Everybody's yapping about it.
Nate can't wait to
Now,
spill the beans.
if I'm really upset at somebody, I'm upset at my friends.
Right.
I'm upset at my friends more than my woman.
Okay.
Because Nate, Tony, y'all know me. Y'all know me. Take me somewhere, no drinks, nothing there. Sit me down and explain to me. But explain it to me in a way where I can find out from y'all directly. If I got to hear a third person, I'm mad at my friends. I'm not mad at my girl.
Yeah.
That's Devale and Zach.
All right, now, what I love about Zatima so far this season is it does bring up a lot of like real life things that we have to think about and be concerned about. Zach, your mother, I keep calling you Zach, Devale's character, Zach.
Yes.
Your mom passes away and now there's a funeral to deal with, but there's also like estate planning and what's going to
Yes.
happen, you know, with this money and who's going to be in charge of this. And that is something that I feel like we all have to think about. I've been thinking about it too, making sure that you're planning for things
Absolutely.
like that.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and I think that's a great conversation to be had for people in general.
Absolutely. It's so funny you say that because I remember once I got like of a certain age, my dad called me and he was like, hey, do you have life insurance? And I was like, why? Because I didn't want to think about death,
Right.
You know. But then you don't think about everything that you're leaving on your family when you do
Absolutely.
pass. And now, as we're gaining assets and success and money, it's like, okay, we do need to know what we're going to do with this. So talking to lawyers, having those conversations, or just even getting a life insurance policy is so important. A lot of people leave their families in really bad situations when they don't be responsible while they're still here.
It's already hard enough, but now I got to deal with putting together these finances, figuring out who's getting what.
Too much.
You have 4 kids, so I'm sure for you guys, you and Kadeen have already said, okay, we got to get this.
Absolutely. I mean, playing in the NFL first, I learned a lot about, finances and estate planning. Me and Chris will talk about this probably more than we talk about our characters. When she hears something or I hear something, we first call each other, did you hear about this? But setting it up for the kids, 529 plans, IRAs, that was all something I had set up since the NFL.
Okay,
but
that's
when
great.
it came to our parents, though, I didn't. And it wasn't until we started talking. And Tyler was telling us, like, when you get to a certain age, your parents often become your kids.
Yep.
That's
and
a
now
fact.
I'm speaking to my parents about health. As a matter of fact, 2 years ago, I came to speak to you. We did an interview. My dad had just went to the hospital, found out that he was pre-diabetic and his A1C was so high. And at that moment, I panicked because I said, if my dad were to pass away today, I have no idea what's supposed to happen to my mom, my brother, my sister. So at that point, I was like, nah, let's all sit down. I sit down with my mom.
That's
I went over
great.
her retirement package. I sat down with my dad, and now we're doing the same thing with Kay's parents as well. So.
That's great, because sometimes it's hard to talk to your parents about
It is.
finances.
It's still hard.
Because a lot of things that they didn't know, because I know, like, for my parents, they don't know certain things, and they're like, I don't even want you to know my credit score. I don't want you to know. But you got to have those honest, and even in a relationship, finances are important. People act like it's, kind of a taboo thing. Oh, it's not about that. It's about love. But that does matter a lot.
It's very important. Yeah, it does. Yeah. When people say that, I'm like, what do you mean? If you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, you need to know these things.
Yeah,
because when you start doing stuff together, and you coming in here with a 600 credit score, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Listen, marriage is a business.
Yeah.
Marriage is a business. As much as people want to say it's all love, it is a business. My assets become her assets. My debt becomes her debt. Issues that I run into that I can't take care of, and I look at it and I'm like, wait a minute, how come I didn't qualify? If your credit score is too low, now that we're married, we're one entity. So people have to have those conversations.
It's just like,
not get married.
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's something else we can discuss on the show. When it's time to get married, those conversations, like seriously, how much you
even before it's time to get married.
Yes.
Because y'all live together.
Yes.
When we're dating, we need to have these conversations because if it goes any further, I didn't know what I'm getting myself into. Okay.
And also people's spending habits are so different, with each other. When it comes, I
What
know
you
what you're
laughing
thinking
at?
about. You think about him and Kadeen. How are y'all
Ka-ching.
like when it comes to spending? What are the differences in spending habits?
Well, there's still a lot of differences. Right, but I don't judge my wife. She doesn't judge me.
Okay.
Right, we both have vices. Right, for example, Kadeen will go like now. She's on Fifth Avenue. I don't know what that bill gonna look like.
Right.
But I'm the type that'll go somewhere and won't spend. But then if I see a car, I'll buy it.
How car?
She already be on me.
Yeah.
Because
Like, bro, what are you doing?
yo,
It's
I
one thing
don't.
to buy some shoes or a bag. A car is a whole okay.
But that's the thing. If
But you also
buy,
have to check in if you're like, hey, I'm thinking about
absolutely.
Okay.
I don't ever spend a dime or get a dime spent without us knowing like this is what it is. And it's important for people to know you may buy shoes every day and it can cost more than what my car costs.
Well, you do need to walk places.
Look. You see, this one thing Anne's gonna do is defend women to the death.
It's important,
But they don't got to be
Shoes are
6-inch
very
stilettos
important.
that cost
Like I had to walk here
$3,600.
today. So
Yeah,
the
see?
shoes
Because
are
there's
important.
all kinds of activity going on outside. You know what it
Yes.
is. If she didn't have the right shoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Your ability to deflect from responsibility is second to none, Ange.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about being friends with somebody who your ex dated. Can you
Ooh,
see
yeah.
that being a thing? Because especially if you live in a place where people all know each other,
Yeah.
maybe y'all came up together and somebody dated somebody in the crew and, whatever happened. But right now, one of the things that's happening is Zach's ex is trying really hard to be
She really is.
Fatima's friend. So what are your thoughts about something like that? Can you be friends with your man's ex?
Okay.
Or your
so
woman.
I can't say never, but I feel like the person shouldn't try to force it. And I feel like Connie's trying to force a friendship.
Right.
Like if it happens naturally and I kind of gravitate and be like, okay, she actually is cool. And I have a good relationship with my man and trust him and know that there's nothing else going on, then I can see that possibly happening.
Has that ever happened to you in real life?
No. No.
She said no.
No.
I hate all of them bitches. I don't want to
No,
talk
I
to
don't,
them.
because I can say that I'm still like cool with guys that I've dated. Like I don't hate some people,
Right.
I don't hate anybody, but like there's some people you weren't good for me, but like we can still be cool,
Right.
You
You can still kiss my ass and watch me on TV.
But Connie's not really Zach's ex though.
basically.
Connie's not really Zach's ex. They
Is
had
she
a-
not?
they
'Cause
had a
that's
tra-
what Tyler said.
Nah,
in the
they had a
script.
trauma bond. They had a trauma bond. Remember, he used to get abused.
Yeah, when y'all were young, y'all did not date.
No, we fucked.
Oh,
Can
well,
I
that's-
can
oh
curse
my
or no? I
gosh. You
cannot
did,
curse. My
so it's
bad.
fine.
I'm
She said,
sorry.
"Oh my gosh."
We fornicated. We fornicated. But no, they were two young kids. Who
Right.
Zach used to get abused, so when he used to hide, he used to go hide at Connie's.
Right.
And Connie got it.
And,
Okay.
and
She's like family,
she
kind
said
of in a way.
Connie.
Got
No,
it.
Zach didn't know how
That's
to
how we
be
think
with
about
a
it.
woman. Think about Zach though.
Okay.
Does he know how to be with a woman other than sex? No.
Okay.
So when you're trying to show a woman love and you don't know any other way, that's what you do. But the minute he realized that that's not what him and Connie had, he hasn't even tried to be with Connie since.
Right.
They weren't really in like romantic relationship. They were friends and they used to have sex because they was teenagers. But now
Okay.
they're adults and it's like,
So we got some context.
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't see it as a relationship. You know?
That's the difference between men and women because Connie
Yeah.
looks at it as y'all dated.
Yeah.
I would say.
That's how I
Well,
take
we
it.
would have to ask Connie. I can't speak
Yeah.
for Connie, but Zach don't see it as that. Zach was like, yo, we was homies. We had sex because that's what we did. But we was never like boyfriend and girlfriend. I never was like, this is my girl, Connie.
That has to be annoying to date somebody who all his exes, he got a ton of, people he had sex with, or as you like to say, fucked.
That's what Zach was
Belinda,
fucking, man.
Karen,
Yeah,
like,
right.
and it be
Zach was
causing all kinds of drama.
Yes, too
Yeah.
much.
Some people, drink your wine. Some people might think that is too much in a relationship where I always got to deal with this girl popping up, this girl, and she got something to say. Your friend even had
Yes.
sex with Zach, and you
Yeah.
found out when you wanted to
Yeah.
show him off to everybody.
Yeah.
And bingo, oh yeah,
I
watch
had it
out
too.
for him.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if it could work the reverse. Like, what if you tried to introduce Fatima to all your friends and one of
already
your
know,
boys
Angie.
then smashed?
Zach, I mean, he has to deal with Hayden. She works with Hayden.
But
and
that's
he
But that's not
smashed.
your friend.
But you still work with him, and I still got to deal with it.
I
Y'all
don't
can
think
make all the
that's
excuses
That's
you
not
want.
the same.
So
It's
this
different
is-
if it's for somebody on your side,
Listen,
your
like
friend.
your boys, like
Yeah.
say Nate and Tony. And
If
I
you
have
smash
yeah, 'cause
Nate or
that's
Tony,
the same as Belinda. Yeah.
it wouldn't happen.
See the double standard?
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
So
But
how is it a way that you, because you're a guy,
No, you got to ask Fatima that.
Belinda?
Because
no,
you accepted it. Why you asking me what you accepted?
Well,
Ask
Crystal wouldn't
Ange.
accept it. Let's just
Crystal wouldn't. Ask Ange. Why did Fatima accept it? Because you got all the answers.
No, I'm just asking. Just, I don't have no answers.
Nah, you got all the answers. You be coming with the heat for me. You be coming with the heat for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to drink some of Crystal wine, too.
You drinking her wine,
That's
too?
crazy.
Yeah.
We know Zach has a drinking problem.
Right? That's the next rumor.
wine.
He was drinking.
That's how it starts.
So you saying wine is a gateway?
No, well, it's
gateway
feeling
drug?
like on the show there might be some issues with Zach's drinking also.
Yeah, we just touched on that.
Is that something that you feel like is because I'm watching it, I'm like, is this going to develop into more?
Yeah.
I guess you're going to have to wait and see.
Do you have to wait and see too, or?
Yeah.
So that's interesting because I know when the guys were up here, they were talking about like being okay with being the bad guy sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Yeah, and embracing that too.
You
Yeah,
have
because
to
I mean,
be.
there's always a bad guy in real life, so you have to play that. There's got to be a part of every story. There has to be a protagonist and an antagonist. So somebody's got to play it.
And the show's called Sisters.
Right.
So Zach is an antagonist. The only reason why his character's there is to get under Karen's skin and to make things difficult for Fatima. So I have to lean into that, which I'm cool with. That's why I drink a lot of wine.
Can you imagine being with somebody who has a baby on the way? Mm-mm. That's not yours.
That's not mine. No, unless it was
and
something
then you
like
found out
before.
about another kid along the way. I mean, it's wild.
It's a lot. That's a lot. It's crazy because
Everybody says no until
I
you fall in
know
love.
somebody very close to me who got married, not too long after they got married, found out that there was another child about to be born. Yeah. And they're still together 36 years.
God bless them.
It worked out.
It
God
did.
bless them.
You're right though. Things do sound like I couldn't do that on paper, and then real life hits, and you end up
Absolutely.
doing things that you never
Yeah.
Absolutely.
think that would be possible.
Yeah. So never say never.
Tell the truth, Crystal.
Things happen.
You never know.
You never know.
You might fall in love with the greatest guy ever, and he just so happens to
have
a baby on the way.
Things
What are you
happen.
going to do? You going to block your blessings because everything that happened before you didn't work out? That
But
doesn't make any sense.
You know what kind of sucks about that though? He did like step out and sleep with
Did he step out?
Karen. Y'all weren't
We weren't
officially
together.
together,
Yeah.
but
Do you remember
She
why
know-
we wasn't?
y'all,
No. We about to
Angela
find
be
out.
watching the show.
No. We about to find out.
but it's
why?
also after y'all was messing around.
Yeah, we
Why
were,
weren't
yeah.
Zach and Fatima together though?
I don't recall that.
I'll tell you why. Because Zach wanted to be exclusive with Fatima, and Fatima
I
said
kept
you're
pushing
not
him
ready.
away. I'm
But
not ready.
you
You
weren't
gonna get on her
ready.
I
about?
wasn't
Are you
ready,
gonna get on her
yeah.
about that?
And clearly he wasn't ready because
Right,
we went
clearly
and did
not.
right in the
No.
point. Give
This
us more
the-
wine. Point
Here's the
proven.
wine. That's not the point taken. This the
Here's
point.
some more wine.
If a woman says you're not ready to be in an exclusive relationship and that man decides to be with somebody else, you got to own that.
Thank you.
Because if you wanted to be exclusive, there would be no Karen pregnancy.
But you do have to.
There's no but.
You
That's
do.
a fact. That's a fact.
You hear the
See,
chiming
this is
in the
what Zach's
back.
telling
That
me.
is
You
a
think he's
fact.
always right. I
I
was
am
going to
right,
say,
though.
it's a little difficult because of his past history. So it is something to take your time and not jump into something. So I can understand somebody having reservations and saying, you have something to prove to me
Okay.
because of your past. So let's take our time.
Yeah.
So I can
if you
see that.
say take your time and then that person
Goes and has sex with
someone
somebody
else,
inside of her
are you
hair
gonna be
salon
mad?
and gets her pregnant
Are you gonna be mad
with
at
one
him?
twin.
Come on.
Are you gonna be
What?
mad? but that's your fault though. That's your fault though. There would be
I'm
no
riding
twin.
with you, Zach. Okay.
There would be no twin. if
But you did,
Fatima-
right? You accepted it because you
Yeah.
also understood we weren't in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's just caused a lot of extra drama.
It
though.
has, yeah.
You
And
know.
then the next baby, Michael, and then it's just, it's a lot. And I can say, I don't know if Crystal, I probably would, once the first baby, I would have been like, I'm cool.
When
I'm
the
like,
second one popped up, and then
I'm out.
That's a lot.
It's too much.
and then I mean the most unthinkable thing happened. You got one twin on the way.
Yeah.
That is wild. You about to be like, I guess like a, I don't know, what do you call the
Stepdad.
two dads together, like brother dads?
We're gonna be brother husbands.
Brother, husband.
That's
Brother
not your.
husbands.
You're not a husband, but
Well, yeah, I'm not a husband to her, so
Yeah,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
you're just a brother dad.
my brother dad. I'm a stepfather, or because in
Yeah,
a
because
way
you're not with her yet. To the other baby,
to
yeah.
the other baby, I'll being a stepfather to the other
Yeah.
child. I mean,
But what I do think is commendable is seeing your character step up to take custody of a child that's yours, that was in, and to see also how accepting Fatima is of that too. To say, let's get this little boy over here. Let's make sure he's good. Let's get him talking.
Yes, that child is innocent, and I think a lot of times women, if they're in that situation, can take it out on the child and be like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this, because it's a reminder of what the man has done. But you have to understand, children are innocent in all this. And I think that's one thing we do show when it comes to how we treat
It's
Michael.
always about the kids.
Yeah, leave them kids alone.
Leave them kids alone.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's what I was saying. There's so many different topics on the show, so that's why I'm such a fan of watching it.
Thank you.
Although sometimes I feel like Fatima be a little too gangster.
She is. She's like
It's
a little mini
too much. She
Medea.
be pulling out guns. I'm like,
I'm telling you, she's Medea. I told Tyler, I was like, is Medea my like great aunt or something?
Have there been things that you've pushed back on that you were like, this might feel a little extreme? Do you guys ever push back on certain things?
I do.
I only push back on like sex stuff, like certain things. But he'll call me like, "Are you comfortable with this?" And I'm like,
right,
yes or no. I'll let him know.
He probably start laughing like,
yeah,
what
I'm
are you
like,
doing?
right. Yeah.
I pushed back on one thing. It wasn't even my character. It was something that was going to happen to Fatima, and I was like, Tyler, I don't think that this is the right direction for her character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like her character was so smart, and her character was developed in a way where she was the woman that women wanted to be like. And the direction he was going to take it with this one move, I'd have been like, a lot of women would have been like, I can't rock with her for doing that. And when I explained it to him like that, he was just like, okay, I see it. And then he pivoted.
That's dope that he can be receptive to that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you're friends with Angela.
Yes.
That's like one of your best friends on the show.
Yes.
And singing. She was up here, by the way, co-hosting.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Which we had a good time.
We love
Yeah.
her. Yeah,
She's
she's a
amazing.
good time. Yeah.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people in the comments like, now, I need to talk to her.
She's beautiful, like
Is
drop
she
dead
though?
gorgeous.
Is she though? Like when you see her, like the minute you see her, you like, dag. Like her face when you see, it's almost like you getting staring.
Right.
Sometimes she be like, Devale, I be like, you just gorgeous, bro.
Yeah.
And her whole family's that way.
Literally,
her sister's gorgeous.
I love that.
No, like
She's
literally.
it's like, man,
their mama
like you
did,
so
mom
pretty.
and dad did like a really good job.
They did do them justice though.
Now,
They're
what
gorgeous.
do you think about her and dating the guy that you kissed?
Remy, Bryce.
Right.
So this is I'm in a place in my life where I'm all about empathy and understanding people and understand that there is no black and white in life. There's so many different shades of gray, right? Bryce is really into Angela. He really is. Now, he made some decisions before that are very questionable, but if he's trying to be honest and upfront and Angela is open to it, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, everybody has a past. So if his past is that he's with dudes before, that's his past. But if he wants to be monogamous with Angela, I say, why not let them rock out?
What do you think about that? Crystal. But say you're dating a guy and then you find out in the past he was dating guys too.
You know what? I think in the back of my mind, it's always going to be the thought, do you still want men? That's always going to be in the back of my head. And I'll be honest, like a real like fear of mine is ending up with someone who is like down low. Because in Atlanta, like that's like
I was gonna
a
say, you're
big
in Atlanta.
thing. Yeah.
That's fair.
Huge possibility.
Huge possibility. So it's like scary. Like I always think about that. So yeah.
But if somebody was honest, like, look, I did this, and I can love anybody, but I love you.
Yeah.
I think that that's the most important thing, because even for a straight man, right? You don't say, well, he's always loved women, I'm afraid that he's going to keep loving women. It's like he loves me. So if he's willing to stop having sex with other women for me, maybe he's willing to stop having sex with men for me. Now, I'm not saying that you have to accept it. That's not not my story.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that we live in a world where now we have to start giving empathy to people and understanding what their history is. And everything ain't just going to be the way I want it.
It's a different day and age, because a lot of people do stuff and don't tell you. So
Absolutely.
you would never know.
You would never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Do you
people
think
try
you need to tell
stuff.
somebody that?
I feel like you should be honest.
I say, why hold it back?
Yeah.
Like, why are we not being honest?
Because do we
and
tell
truthful?
who we're dating everybody we've been with?
No,
You
we
should.
don't. We
You
don't.
should.
You think
Yeah.
so?
I think so. I
I
think
don't
so.
think I don't think it.
No
it's
one's
in-
ever asked me.
Yeah, me
Like,
neither. Yeah.
Because to
You
be
haven't
honest,
dated nobody in so long.
I
so
haven't.
Right.
So
That's
that's
it. You
why-
hear it like that.
That's why I'm gonna be honest. Like, I can't even
He's
give
like,
my
I can't speak on
perspective.
this.
I can't speak on it. I can
Right.
only give you my thoughts.
Because I can't
it's
imagine
okay.
you dating somebody. So who else have you been with? Like,
Right.
guys don't even really want. I
Yeah.
feel like guys don't even really want to know that.
Yeah, they don't. Because
Yeah,
their ego.
Because I don't know
they're
that I really want to know that unless it's something that's relevant.
Yes, unless it's somebody that I know. Like I need to know. So I'm not.
Like I'm gonna run into y'all, into them, and I'm with you, and then I
think
should.
it's important to know.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Everybody, even somebody you might never ever.
You want to know
know
why?
Why?
Because sex is important, right? And you understand
Why you
about.
just-
Because I have another thought.
Because you know, this is my thing with people in relationships, right? Women often say sex isn't that important. It's not that big of a deal. Why do men make it a big deal? If it ain't that big of a deal, why do you get upset if we have sex with someone else? because it is a big deal. So since it is a big deal, let's be open and honest about our sexual history so that I can understand what is it you're looking for in this relationship sex-wise. Do you want to have sex multiple times a day, multiple times a week? Do you not like sex that much? These are conversations that if people had up front, there will be less foolery going
now,
on.
Now, how I like sex and who I had sex with have nothing
that's a two
to do
different
with
things.
They have a lot to do with.
No, it does not.
There's
Yes,
different
they
people
do.
that are like that you might have dated. There's guys that you date that might have been great in bed but not great in real life, or vice versa.
It's
Great
important
in
for
real
guys
life
to
but
know
not
that.
so great in bed. And
It's
then,
important for your guy to know that.
Well, we can talk about what I like. But here's my thing. I've had a situation where I ran into somebody, didn't know that they were cool, and then I even tell the guy, hey, just letting you know, because I never want you to be put in a compromising position.
Absolutely,
where
that's
he knows something that you don't
dope.
know. This is what happened. They were like, oh, cool. Like, wasn't even tripping about it. But being honest, I'm very honest in those, but I'm not about to be like, oh, yeah. So I,
when I was in
think
junior
should.
in college.
Right.
I think you should, though.
You did. Well,
You spending the rest of your life with this person. If this is the person
it's easy
you're
for
going
you
to
to
spend.
say when y'all met, you only had sex with one person.
Right.
Come on.
How do you know how many people I had sex with?
Number start
How you
adding
know
up.
how many? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that though. If you meet somebody at 40 and 45, I mean, there's gonna be some numbers there. He should know that. Like, that's the truth though. There shouldn't be no secrets.
Take this bottle away from me.
There shouldn't be no secrets. I hope y'all listening.
Now, has Crystal ever introduced you to somebody that she was dating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I definitely, anybody I date meets Devale for sure.
Now,
Okay.
we have a friendship, and she's open with me about stuff. Why wouldn't she be open with her significant other she's going to spend the rest of her life with?
I would be with my...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't talk to you about that.
Yeah, because I'm not your man. But when you have a man, though, let's ask Wes.
Okay, what's the next
Wes.
question, Angela?
Wes.
What's the next question?
You're a man, right?
Next question.
You're a man. If you're going to get married to a woman,
You're not a man, right? That's a good first
can
question.
I ask
Yeah,
can I
yeah,
ask
yeah.
a man?
Yes.
You're going to marry a woman, right? Would you not want to know everything?
I wouldn't say everything, but I would want to know the stuff I need to know.
Okay.
It's a-
I don't know why you did this like he was proving your point. He just said not
No,
everything.
I just said okay. I just
Okay.
said okay. I just said okay. Like,
Like,
Need to
if
know.
it's somebody I know,
Right. If it's somebody you
I need to
know,
know,
right.
don't play with me.
Do not play with me.
Right.
Don't play
I
with
need to
me.
know. Yeah, I don't play about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
but if your man says I want to know everything, you're going to be like, nah, I'm not telling you?
I mean, if he really wants to know, but it's gonna be on him at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hey,
I
man.
do think that sometimes you think about those things later, and maybe you don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
Putting out new music, Crystal.
I
Is that you?
am.
I saw your freestyle. You was really flowing on it.
Amazing, because I sing. I love being in the studio. Like it was just a lot of, and then being in the studio with her, it was just like, wow, this is really happening. So it was fun, and I like tapping into that like tough girl side.
And you touched politics and everything.
Yeah.
So let's not forget she did work on, in politics
Capitol
as
Hill.
well.
Yeah,
on
worked on
Capitol
Capitol
Hill.
Hill. So that was dope too. That was like, we definitely like gave her talking points that we really wanted to touch on. So she hit every mark, like literally.
Well, listen, I could see a little bit of rapping along with the singing, maybe.
You know what? I'm thinking now that we're working on music, I would maybe add a little flow,
A
in
little
there.
something.
Yeah, a little something.
So, what kind of music? Like, when can we expect something?
Right now, Q1, 2025. So first quarter, because we're just trying to make sure we get it right, get everything together. But it's gonna be like that R&B that feels good. You know how you listen to '90s R&B and it's like, oh my God, that feeling you
Yeah.
get. Like, I want people to hear the music and feel that feeling again.
Okay, I'm into
Yeah,
it.
Thank you.
Now, Devale, you did a freestyle as well. How did that feel for you, though?
It felt good. I love rap. I'm from Brooklyn. I wrote
Talk
mine.
about it. Oh, you wrote yours.
I wrote mine.
Okay.
I wrote about my family. To be honest, I only had 2 takes because it was long. People were taking long in there.
Oh, yeah, because you want to get it right.
So I got in there 2 takes and that was it. But it was cool.
I love when they do this little cipher thing.
It's fun.
It's funny because my
Yeah.
girl Jasmine Brand did it, and we make fun of her to this day. We actually use it for her drop.
Really?
People don't realize how hard rapping is, though. Everyone says, I can rap. It's not that
the
easy.
cadence, the beat.
It's not that easy. It's a lot.
And congratulations to you. So I saw that you had posted how Denzel is your favorite actor.
Yes.
And you posted that like years ago.
Yes.
Right? And now you have the opportunity to actually be working with him on Broadway. Can you talk about that,
Yes.
Othello?
Co-producing Othello with Brian Moreland. Yeah,
That's
it
a
comes
big
out in the
deal.
spring. I'm excited about it. I'll get to show people that when it comes to art, I'm not a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying? So producing a project with someone like Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal, it's is dope.
That's
you know,
it's
and I get to
huge.
learn.
Yeah,
I get to
yeah,
learn.
it's
You know what I'm saying? I get to learn. So that's all it is, just to learn.
And I see Todd and Candy are on that too.
Yeah.
Candy Burris on the production team.
Yes.
So how did that even happen?
Word of mouth. One thing I'll say about the industry is it's about relationships. A young lady by the name of LaShawn Thompson, she was Ken Thompson's ex-wife. God rest the dead. But we have mutual friends, and she knows that I'm big into Broadway and I love theater. So she was like, hey, are you interested in co-producing? And I was like, if you can make that happen, if I can meet the right people, I'm doing it. So she made the right connections, and the rest is history, you know?
Well, congratulations on that.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Could you
it.
see yourself doing Broadway now that you've been...
I've always wanted to do live entertainment. That's why Kadeen and I do the live shows with Deadass Podcast. It's a completely different instrument, different tool. You know, in order for me to do Broadway, I would have to go back and study. I wouldn't just go jump on Broadway. I would study for a year or two to make sure that I'm in my thespian bag. Because right now, if I'm being honest, I don't consider myself a thespian. I studied, but I'm an entertainer. I like to do everything.
What requires, what makes you be a thespian? Like, how do you get on that level?
Well, to be honest, you like anyone can say, oh, I'm a writer or I'm an actor, right? Because you go on TV. But people study. People go to school for years to develop the class, and they learn. They go to conservatory. You know, I did a 2-year conservatory at Esper Studios. But some people go to school for 4 years and get their bachelor's and their master's in theater and performance, voice and diction. And I think in order for me to do Broadway, I would have to really expand on that instrument. I've never done it to that level.
Okay.
And I would never disgrace the people of Broadway like a Denzel or a Jake Gyllenhaal who've done this and say, yeah, I can just jump on there and do that. That's unfair to them as artists. So I would study, but I would definitely be open to it.
Have you met Denzel yet?
No, I haven't met him
You're
yet.
gonna fan? That's gonna be amazing.
I don't think I'm a fan.
I mean, that's your favorite actor, though. Like, how do you?
Well, I mean, he's one of my favorite actors. My favorite actor of all time is Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
Wesley Snipes.
Because I saw when I was doing everything, I saw back in 2016, you did a post on Denzel being like,
I did. He is the epitome of what black actors should want to be. You know, I love Will Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
He's an entertainer to me, but he also became a thespian over time. I love Wesley Snipes. Who else? Lawrence Fishburne is like my guy. I've been looking up to him since I was a little kid. Boys in the Hood was the first movie I ever saw in my life.
Oh, wow, really?
So, yeah, I remember 1989, I was 5 years old. My dad had the bootleg. Sorry, Pops. He had the bootleg.
You can see people walking past.
No, for real. In Kenmore Movie Theater on Flatbush, for people who know. And I watched it, and I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to inspire people. So those 4 men really, created the idea of acting for me.
And then, Christopher, you've also invested in a women's soccer team.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? Because we like the business moves, too, behind the scenes.
I'm really big on business. Tyler taught me, actually taught everyone that's close to him about the importance of ownership. So actually, Big West brought the opportunity to me, and I used to live in D.C. That's the place that I attribute to finding myself. Being from a small town, D.C. was where I really found myself. And I'm really big on pushing women and women in the sports arena. I love sports. So when the opportunity came, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Let's do it. Yeah.
I like this. See that, and I think it's always important to plan and have the multiple streams of income and things going on that we also enjoy and love that reflect what we have happening.
It's important. Yeah, the strike really pushed me. I was like, after the strike, I was like, this industry will not have me in the palm of their hands. I've got to do everything I can to make sure I'm good, whether I can act or not. You know, so. Definitely struck a match, and I was like, let's go.
People always talk about how Tyler's the person that paid them their worth, which I think is great because, first of all, this show, I will say, I wish the team of episodes were a little longer.
We're only 30 minutes. Yeah, it's only
they
30
go by
minutes.
so fast.
Yeah, sometimes it's like 20-something minutes. I'm like, what's going on?
No commercials. Yeah, it's like really fast.
Yeah, but it keeps us wanting more.
Yeah.
So that's the most important part. Well, congratulations to you guys, because both Sisters and the team is going to be on at the same time.
Yes.
So that's big. And you have a Netflix movie coming, a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
We love a Christmas movie.
We do, honey.
Yes. Coming out November 6th with Christina Milian and Kofi.
Yes.
Kofi. I forgot how to pronounce his last name.
Cerebro?
Cerebro.
Okay.
But Kofi, that's my guy. He's a great dude. That's your type too. Kofi is your type.
Okay. Listen, we were at Essence Festival. The ladies were going crazy.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Over Kofi.
He's a good dude too, though. Like a really nice guy. He's a really
Why didn't you
nice
set
guy.
it up for her?
Well, I can't set stuff. I don't like playing Cupid.
Why not? You're in the perfect position. And I've learned that you're supposed to ask Your married
how did I get
friends.
here? How did
No,
I get
I'm
here?
saying you're supposed to ask your married friends to hook you up with people who.
Well, y'all don't want to listen to your married friend. I've been trying to talk to y'all and everything
You
I
trying to
say.
set
Y'all
us
niggas-
up.
Listening.
Tell
You're
me
telling us
everybody
to tell
slept
our man
with.
everything and from everybody
Well,
we ever slept with. I don't
the
think
men
that's.
that I know, that's what they want.
That is
Y'all-
not good
that's
advice,
not what
ladies.
We
y'all-
just asked, but it's okay.
It's all right, man. All right. But only one of us
Wait,
is
hold on,
married,
Dan.
though.
Would you want to know everybody that your fiance's been with? Every detail of that.
No, only if like there's gonna be a situation where I have to meet them.
See,
Exactly.
so
It's the
two
need to
people
know.
have
You
said
married?
that he's
Okay.
engaged.
You married?
The need
Stop
to know.
acting
That's
like-
the why.
I'm
That's
asking
the
the
thing,
married.
though.
I'm married, though. Like,
He's
I'm
getting married
married.
in
Married?
April.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm married,
Yeah.
though.
You are.
Okay.
That's
Married.
that's why you. That's why you got to understand.
But this is the problem, though. When y'all
gosh.
ask married men their advice, and when they tell it to you, y'all negate it.
because did Kadeen tell you who?
Yes.
It was probably like 2 people.
Yes, it was 3.
Exactly.
Yes.
Come on, nigga. I'm 42. Like, what you
Hey,
need?
hey, man.
Did it
Hey.
bother you when she told you at all?
Nah, I hate all them niggas. But but it didn't bother me. But I hate them.
Oh my gosh.
Like what? Like I hate anybody who talks to my
Every time you
wife.
see
Oh
you
my
like,
God.
If my brother talks to my wife too long, I'm like, the fuck y'all talking about? No, it's just
So you couldn't be friends with any of her exes?
to be honest, I'm mature now.
Okay.
I could. Like
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. Like everybody has a past. I've slept with people before. Like I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like a woman has to be this virtuous version of like that's not
Right.
reality, and it's just not the time we living in. So I don't think it's something that women should be ashamed of. If you slept with people, that's just my opinion. It's like this
I don't
is
think
who
it's
I
about
am.
being
It's shame.
ashamed.
It's
It
not
just
a
feels
shame.
like I don't know. I don't know that a guy would want to know. That's all I'm saying. You're
Yeah.
saying they would. Look, people in the room have said only if it's relevant.
Yeah. So.
So I think it's a balance.
Hey, it's
whoever
and
it is that
everybody
you're
has a
dating.
perspective. Like that may work for me, but it may not work for Dan. It may not work for Wes.
Right.
So if it works for your man, then it worked. That's why it worked. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely don't want to know his. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that is way up. Devale came in here, and he going.
Honey, he done got it.
What did I do? I didn't
He
do
drank
nothing
your
but defend
wine,
myself.
And then,
Right, took my
what are you
wine.
defending yourself against?
You
Oh my
and
god.
you like to come at people, but my thing
No,
is
I
I'm cool with it.
don't.
I'm cool
At
with
least
it.
I
like
watched the show though, and I
You
know
do.
You
so-
do.
You really watch
yeah,
the show.
and it's
I
all
really
fun and
watch
games.
both.
It's all fun and
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and just take it. I'm
okay.
gonna be defend myself, and I'm gonna go back and forth. It's good banter, like
No, you're right.
you know
it
what I'm saying.
is.
It's good banter, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah, if y'all want me to sit here like be like y'all right, ladies, you're absolutely right. I'm not doing that
You're being
either.
very dramatic right now.
Very.
I'm
We
being
not-
dramatic.
We didn't say that. We was just saying that like it's hard
Said
for
on
you to
it.
tell us, give us advice on that one thing. You know, I call you about everything, but on that, it's hard for you to give us advice when like you've been with your wife, like
Yeah.
since you was
Things
able
have
to date.
changed.
Yeah,
I'll
Things
take
have
that.
different out
changed.
here.
I'll take it.
You don't
If
even
that's
hook
what you're
Crystal
saying.
up with somebody.
If that's what because
Well,
I
he-
don't want that. I don't want that
have you
on
tried?
my heart.
Have you tried? And he would
I
kill
don't want that on
somebody.
my
He,
heart. I don't.
he
that-
like he literally would like.
This it's funny to say this because this is my co-star, but this is family.
Yeah.
If someone disrespects her, they disrespect me. So then it's a problem. But when you say like she's like my sister, it sounds weird.
Because
So
you guys
be-
are like dating on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
can't even say that, but I know her as a person, and because I know how hard she loves, I know
Yeah.
how much she goes for people. I look at dudes who come to court her, and I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
is this guy the type of guy who's going to receive it and reciprocate it, or is he going to take it and run with it? And I'm like, I don't want nobody hurt my girl. Like this is
Right.
my homie. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel
I'm,
you
I'm
on
very
that.
wary
I
about
appreciate
that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very wary about that.
For all the guys out there, be very cautious. But
And it ain't just me.
yeah,
Oh yeah. No,
She
we-
got a team. Like Wes big as a motherfucker. Like you see how big Wes is? It ain't gonna be no easy thing over
I
here.
just
you know
think
what I'm
it's
saying?
nicer when one of your friends hooks you up because then you have a little bit of like a cosign.
Same. That's. I think you probably agree too. Like where we are now, you'd rather meet somebody that
Through somebody.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I had to know that I can be like, hey, is he cool?
Right.
Like before I like dive in, because
And then y'all can have like group dates, and that's the friend, and you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
think that's a nice thing because then
Yeah.
you feel a little. You know what? You never know what somebody's gonna do, but at least if you can have a little bit of like okay, he must be cool. At least if you're friends with him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I feel
good. So let's
safer.
work on that.
Yeah.
I don't want that because if he's a bad guy, or if he turns out to be the type of person that I don't know, because I don't know him as a relationship.
I didn't know that. Yeah, like
if I didn't know that, but then I feel bad. Like, yo, man, like why I do that? So all right, stay out of it.
All right. Well, Zatima is on BET Plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can check out. How many more episodes are left for this season?
The end of the month. I think Halloween week is the last.
6.
6
6.
Yeah, we're at
6
4.
episodes,
Yeah.
4, 6.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh! Already?
Yeah.
All right. And
But then we have a break, and then we come back.
Yeah.
We come back.
Mhm.
I can't
Okay.
tell you when
Yeah,
we come
yeah,
back,
that's
but we
it.
come back before the end of the year.
All right. Well, can't wait because when you guys come back, I feel like you're gonna have 2 more kids. You know,
No, that's
on there.
Who's Zach or Devale?
Both.
No, Devale ain't having no more kids. I'll tell
like
you
the
that.
valley done.
Devale is done. Zach, you never know. Depends on what they write.
All right. It's way up.